So we're making our one dish turkey keto meal. This is pretty much everything that goes into it. I'm going to actually be making it with two dishes because I'm going to show a different method for cooking the zucchini. But you're looking at some onion. That's about 400 grams of onion. It's a whole onion. The cauliflower rice, about 15 grape tomatoes. Turkey breast, that's been cubed up into half-ounce cubes. Makes it easy to dose out the food when you're eating it. A little bit of bay and some oregano, some mushrooms, little tomato paste, salt, pepper, olive oil. The Diet Pepsi doesn't go into the cooking, but I definitely drink it while I'm cooking. And of course the zucchini. Same deal with the olive oil. Put a tablespoon in the pan, hot pan, let it get good and hot. You wait till it starts to shimmer, and then you put the onion in. The onion's in pretty good size. Oops, flipping it around. The onion's in pretty good size chunks. We want to take a little bit of abuse in the cooking, so they're kind of big and chunky. And you're going to see the mushrooms are that way as well. So this is a whole onion. We're going to put 5 pretty good sized white mushrooms in, and they're cut up into this kind of size. The idea is to make them all about the same size. You want the pieces to all come out about the same size. That way everything cooks at approximately the same speed once you put it in the pan. So we're going to get this good. We're going to start to brown it because brown is delicious. It starts to sweeten up those onions a little bit. And that's going to take a little while. And I'm going to throw some salt on there, and then you leave it alone. You only stir it every couple of minutes. You don't have to stir things constantly. And we'll be back. So here you can see the onions are starting to brown on the edges. They're starting to get a little translucent. That's what we're looking for. And I'll come in and I'll give them a little stir every once in a while. That's about where I want them for this next step. About like that. Now I've got my mushrooms, my grape tomatoes, my oregano, my bay, and some pepper in there. And I'm just going to dump that right in on top and then give it a good stir to get everything kind of incorporated in. And then it's going to saute for a while. Looks kind of like that when it's mixed in. And while it's cooking, I'm going to go over and measure out my cauliflower rice and get it ready. And I'm going to start chopping up my zucchini for the other pan. So the zucchini, you're going to want to cut them up fairly thick for the sauteing because they're going to take a little bit of abuse in the pan. You want to get them good and brown, but you don't want them to turn to mush. And that's what can happen if you slice your zucchini too thin before you put it in the pan. And I've also got my cauliflower rice ready. I've got 2 cups of the cauliflower rice ready to go into the mix when it's ready. So what's going to happen is the tomatoes are going to kind of pop. You kind of listen for it. They pop a little bit. I don't even bother slicing them, cutting them in half. I just let them kind of pop on their own. Here you can kind of see that's the kind of heat we got. So it's a pretty reasonable flame. Probably a medium-high on an electric stove, a little bit above medium at least. And we're just going to kind of shake it around every once in a while. You see things are starting to brown. A couple of tomatoes are starting to fall apart, which is what we want. Most of the tomatoes have fallen apart. At this point, I'll probably take a little bit of pleasure in smashing the rest of them up a little bit. And the pan, as you can see, is pretty dry on the bottom. I'm going to throw in the cauliflower, give it a good stir, and then I'm going to add in the tomato paste and some water. So I'm going to add in about a tablespoon of tomato paste, and it'll be about a 1/4 cup, maybe 1/2 cup of water. And I'll probably wait a little bit before I throw that in. So that's what it looks like when you put the turkey in. So I incorporated the tomato paste in, about a 1/4 cup of water, and I've turned the heat down to a medium-low. Put the turkey in. The turkey was pre-cooked, so there's no big deal there. And so now it's time to get the pan ready for the zucchini. So I'm going to turn it on high, let it get good and hot. The trick to the zucchini for me is, there's a little bit of oil in there, is to cook it fairly dry. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in and just a bare little bit of butter. And so the pan's going to be almost dry when I cook it, and then at the end I'll finish it with a little bit more butter, and at the end is when I'll put the salt and pepper on the zucchini to season it. So let me go get that ready. So here we are, pan's heated up. I've got just a little bit of butter. I mean, that's really just a little bit of butter. And I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil on top here. There we go. I mean, it's really not much. And what I'm going to watch for is I'm going to watch for the butter to melt and for the bubbling to stop. I'm going to swirl it around, then I'm going to put the zucchini in and have them all laying flat. Letting that water kind of work its way out. Now the zucchini goes in. As I drop things on the floor, I actually use the zucchini to kind of oil the pan. See what oftentimes happens with zucchini that people don't like is it winds up steaming or boiling and it gets soggy.
I don't like soggy zucchini.
Hear that? There's a vote against soggy zucchini from the other room. So, and this is going to cook fairly quickly. You want to make sure things have good contact with the bottom. That's 3 small zucchini. So it's not a huge amount. And set that thing down here again. So I'm going to let it saute a little bit. Well, I'm going to let it cook a little bit. And then I'm going to flip them. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to pick one up. I'm going to look at it. See how it's starting to brown? And once they get a little bit more brown, once they get nicely browned, I'm going to flip all of them and cook them a little bit more. And then after that, salt, pepper, and butter. Okay. Then pause for a moment so we can hear what's going on. See how that's kind of brown? That lets me know things are ready to get flipped. And I just start flipping them. You can flip them with tongs, you can flip them with whatever. I'm going to flip them and then we'll come back. That's what they look like. And that's what we're going for. I've got it flipped over. I turned the heat down a little bit. The oil was about to start smoking. So I've turned the heat down just a little bit. And I'm going to let it cook for about a minute or so. And then I will put salt on. I'll finish it with half a tablespoon of butter at most. Give it a good toss and that will be done. Here's the last pro tip. Be sure to pull out the bay leaves before you serve. Nobody likes the bay leaf between their teeth. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit it with the salt. About that much salt, heavy pinch. Give it a good spattering. A little bit of butter. We're finishing it with butter. I'm also going to put a couple grinds of pepper on there. Now that that's like that, now I'm just going to toss it, let everything get coated, and that is done. That's what done looks like. I turned the heat off, just ready. So there's your serving suggestion. That's 4 ounces of turkey and about a zucchini and a half and half an ounce of shredded Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, it is half an ounce. Okay.
So good keto meal. You don't go too heavy on the summer squash, on the zucchinis. They can be a little bit carby, but you're not eating that much, and you'd have to eat an awful lot of zucchini to get carbs there.